When I started in the online business world about 6 years ago, I always saw coaches promoting getting to 10K months. And I always wondered, why 10K? And so now that I've grown in my business, I finally understand the magic and significance of the $10,000 month. It is such an important milestone in your business because depending on where you live, that means you can pay yourself a full time salary. Your business starts to feel like legitimate, and more importantly, it feels stable. And it proves that you are no longer just trying to make money, but you actually know how to make money. And so I realized that 10K months are where having systems in place really start to matter. Unfortunately, if you have messy onboarding, all manual processes, and random tools in place that don't work seamlessly together, hitting that 10K month consistently is just not going to happen. So that means you've got to streamline your back end, automate your client onboarding, and really clean up your tech stack. So today I'm going to spend a little time breaking down the exact 5-part backend system that coaches who are making $10,000 per month or more are using to sign clients smoothly, automatically, and without all of the tech chaos. And I'm also going to share how you can set this up in the simplest way possible without having to duct tape like 10 different tools together. So when it comes to hitting a 10K month, most coaches think, oh, I just need more clients. But what I want to share with you is what is actually happening. And it's this. So first you get a lead, and then you send them a link, and then another link. And then you send them a link to an invoice, and then a link to a contract, and then a Zoom link, and then a reminder, and on and on and on. And somewhere in that chaotic process, balls are getting dropped, steps are getting missed, and the experience amongst every client or lead that you have is not the same. And so this is where clients end up ghosting you, they end up getting super confused, and or your money gets very delayed. So can you see that it's not that you actually need more leads or more clients, you just need a system that actually catches the leads that you already have. So if you're already feeling overwhelmed or overthinking the tech that you need, I did create a free roadmap for you. It's called the Stop Overthinking Tech Roadmap for Coaches, and you can get the link to download that for free below this video. So here are the 5 pieces that every 10K month coaching business has, whether you realize it or not. These are the fundamental things that their backend is running on. First up is a calendar scheduler. This is needed so that clients can book time with you without back and forth messaging, and it helps to avoid any time zone confusion. The second backend piece that you need is a payment processor. And ideally, you'll have this set up so that you can get paid from a new client or a recurring client without actually having to send an invoice. I'm going to go over exactly how to do that later. And so now you're going to avoid the awkward getting started with the coaching before they've even paid because you never got around to creating the invoice to send to them, but you want to get started right away. The third piece you need is a contract signer. Contracts are so important because these help to set boundaries, set expectations. So all of that is clear before you even start coaching. The fourth piece you need is a video platform. A lot of coaching happens virtually these days, so getting a video platform you can rely on is super important. And the fifth piece is a CRM, or a customer relationship manager. It's so important to have a tool like this in place because it's going to house all of your client information so that you know who's paid, who signed a contract, how many sessions a client has left, and all of that is going to be easily available, way more efficiently than if you had everything just in a notebook or a random spreadsheet. Now, here is the part that no one tells you. Most coaches do have these 5 things in place when they've started their coaching business, but they're scattered across 5 to 10 different tools. And so that is where the chaos is coming from. And so here's what happens when your systems feel super scattered like this. You end up hesitating to sell, you delay sending links to your coaching programs, you feel really disorganized after someone pays, and you're constantly worrying that you forgot something. And being in that energy really starts to affect your business. From there, you start associating getting clients with stress instead of simplicity and excitement. And so that feeling alone, that scatteredness alone, if that's a word, is going to cap your income more than anything else. The coaches who are scaling the fastest to 10K months and beyond are doing one thing differently, and that is they simplify everything into one workflow. And this is why I recommend using my favorite tool, Paperbell. Because here's what happens: instead of sending a link to your scheduler, a link to your invoice, a link to your contract, a link to your intake form, and then a link to Zoom. Instead of that, you're going to send one link that you've created inside of Paperbell. And with that one link, your client is going to be taken through that entire workflow seamlessly all at once. So sending that one link to your client is going to automatically walk them through making their first payment, electronically signing their contract, filling out an intake form if that's part of your process, and then booking their first coaching session with you. And that happens all in one seamless experience. So, from the client's perspective, it feels like, wow, that was easy. I can't wait to get started. And from your perspective, it feels like, whew, thank God I don't have to manage anything. So, when you get this set up correctly inside of Paperbell, you stop chasing payments, you stop worrying about missed steps, and you stop feeling scattered. And most importantly, you're going to free up so much time so that you actually have the time to sell and coach. And so having a system like this in place is what allows you to scale to $10,000 months. It's not more hustle, and it's definitely not more complicated tools. Instead, it's about getting a little organized and creating less friction in your business. If you want help actually setting this up inside of Paperbell, my mini course, Booked and Automated, helps you through it step by step in just about 3 days. Even if you're not techie, even if you haven't used Paperbell before, I'll leave the link in the description so you can get started. And the last thing I wanted to mention is that I got this little light box behind me, and I've had it for a while now, but I moved some months ago and just never got around to actually putting it in my background. And I'm still working on decorating my background. It's still like very not the way I really want it to look, but making these videos, in case you haven't noticed, I'm putting out 2 videos a week on YouTube, takes a lot of time. And so I just haven't really had decorating time. But I thought it would be fun to start putting some fun sayings on this little light board, and let me know what I should put on there in the comments. I want it to be something like funny and cute and catchy, but still like relate to automating or back-end systems or something. So hopefully in the next video, I will have figured something out, and I would love it if you left some suggestions in the comments. And side note about YouTube, in case you haven't noticed, I am close to 2,000 followers, which I'm so grateful for. That to me, that indicates that coaches are actually finding my videos helpful. And that's literally the most rewarding thing that could ever happen. So if you found this video valuable, please share it with a coaching friend. I would appreciate that. And if you're looking for what you should watch next on my channel, I do have a video called What Happens After a Client Says Yes. So I'll leave it up here and you can watch that. And I will see you there. Bye.